The consuming fire is not just a fire that consumes things when they are thrown into it, or maybe the fire that consumes things as they move closer to it. The consuming fire is also referred, the consuming fire also refers to a fire that consumes fires. So when you hear consuming fire, you can begin to see the fire that can consume fires. Just like the snake, just like the rod of Moses swallowed every rod from the Egyptians. Moses came to the palace, he dropped his rod, it became a snake. The magicians too came, they dropped their rod, it became a snake, and the rod of Moses swallowed all those snakes. That means the magicians, they went back home that day without a rod. Because the snake from Moses swallowed all those snakes and did not vomit them. And that does not make the snake become fatter. So after Moses' snake swallowed all the snakes of the Egyptian, the snake became a rod again, and Moses held his rod. So that means Moses seized all the rod of the magicians. What does that mean? Spiritually speaking, it means that Moses has rendered those people powerless. Because rod speaks of power, it speaks of potency. So Moses, by the Spirit of God, rendered the magicians impotent. They became inactive. Are you there? That's what happens with the consuming fire. The consuming fire consumes other fires. Not just, are you there? This fire is a very different kind of fire that can swallow up fires. The consuming fire, consumed the fire that was made for the 3 Hebrew men. And all that was left was nothing. Are you there? That was why you see that the 3 Hebrew men were not hurt by the fire. When they stepped into it, the consuming fire consumed the real fire there. And all that was left was the consuming fire itself. So that fire now became a relaxation center for the 3 Hebrew men. So when we say our God is a consuming fire, you must see it beyond just the fire that burns things, that destroys. No. It's also a fire that can swallow up fires. Just like the case of the 3 Hebrew men. What, so when they threw the 3 Hebrew men into that fire, what they were actually, before they got there, the consuming fire went before them and consumed the fire. So they thought their fire was still there, not knowing that the fire that was set had already evaporated. It has already been swallowed up. But everything still looks reddish. Everything still looks, the smoke is still coming out, not knowing that the fire they made had already been substituted. That's what the consuming fire can do. I pray for somebody listening to me. May you experience a great deliverance from the consuming fire this week. In the name of Jesus. Maybe you are sick. You need the consuming fire. There's a kind of fire the devil can spring up in a person that can sponsor sickness. Yes. But when the consuming fire comes in, that sickness disappears. That's what God can do. You will see the consuming fire at work in your life. In the name of Jesus.